another episode of Beautiful Subconscious. Today, I am so excited because I get to welcome on our show my beautiful, beautiful friend, Shaunace. So if you don't know that Shaunace is a huge part of my life, where the devil have you been? But if not, I'm going to introduce you to her right this very second. So Shaunace, my beautiful friend, is a transformational life coach, yoga teacher, author, and retreat facilitator, as well as the owner of the award-winning natural skincare line 1111 Lab. She is here to share her one non-negotiable to filling her cup, especially as we're constantly giving to others and forgetting to give to ourselves. So welcome, my beautiful friend.
Thank you so much for having me. I think this is going to be one of many to come.
I know. Firstly, what the heck has taken us so long? But yeah, this is definitely going to be a regular segment for sure. Yep. So as we know, we are going to pull a card. So before we get stuck into today's episode with Shaunace, and we're all about just having one non-negotiable that will help give yourself more love, more time, more freedom. But before we get stuck into that, we're going to pull a card. So, honey, can you tell me when to stop?
Stop.
Nice. All right. So you pulled today. I choose with awareness and from my inner knowing.
Yeah.
Cool. How does that relate for you?
Did you just say inner awareness?
I choose with awareness and from my inner knowing.
I love that. I love that. I love that so much. I choose with awareness and from my inner knowing.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that I am doing that even as we speak. As this morning I was working on messaging for my life coaching, and it was really trying to work out what was coming with really that inner, what did you say? Inner awareness and inner knowing. Yeah, it's really working out that inner knowing.
Yeah, I get that. And it's like fine-tuning and really evolving with that inner knowing and really trusting in it. I find that I'm in a stage of my life right now where I'm noticing how much I question it and how much I question like my inner knowing or just doubt it. And now I'm putting all of that slowly, it's a process of putting it all to the side or just letting it drop away and be like, you know what, just trust and just let your inner knowing guide and just try that option without rebutting it all the time. How about you just try that?
Yeah, absolutely. I was even speaking to a client yesterday, and she was in such a state of skepticism and doubt around being able to transform her thoughts and things like that. And she had basically brought her whole self-worth based on her own achievements, and just couldn't understand that people couldn't base their self-worth on their achievements. And it was trying to tell her that yes, you can change in 7 or 8 weeks of one-to-one coaching. You can completely change, and all you need is like everything is inside you already, and we just need to bring it out. So bringing that awareness and that inner knowing was so true.
Yeah. Oh my, it's so interesting when people shine back the things that we say and the beliefs and the perspectives that we have. It's just like, you mean no one else is living their life or, comparing their, I'm going to say, worth to the things that they've achieved or the accolades that they've had. I do believe we're in a society where we think that it's more common than not in so many cases where people are tied to what they achieve. And it's like, if I don't do that, who am I? And changing those old thought processes comes first with realizing that, it all starts with the choice and the ability to be able to understand you can change it at any given moment.
It's huge. It's absolutely huge. And it also gave me a lot of reflection on how far I had come, because I used to be that person. I used to be that person that did it. I needed to achieve things to feel worthy and to feel loved. And her question to me that showed how much doubt she had in her own worthiness was, she says, I don't get it. If 1111 Lab, my skincare line, wasn't doing well, or your yoga classes were only half full, or you weren't getting clients, it would wreak havoc on your self-worth. You would feel so low. And I laughed because that is so untrue. It's not funny. All of those businesses were going through a lot of growth when they first started, and they were not going well at all. But all that told me was that I had more to learn.
Yeah, absolutely. It ebbs and flows with everything. And I think it comes back to that really powerful statement is your self-worth isn't tied to your net worth and the things that you achieve. You still are so worthy, still complete, still so whole in and amongst all the things that you get to achieve. So it's not the other way around. You can only feel worthy once XYZ has been accomplished. It's you are so worthy, so go out there and see what you can accomplish. It's like just flipping the script in the way that you say it and the way that you see it.
Yeah, absolutely. A little baby that comes into the world hasn't achieved a thing yet. It doesn't mean that it's not worthy.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, they are just like these little majestic beings. Well, I feel like, even just that alone, we can talk about that all day, about like our inner worth, and it ties into what we felt passionate about speaking today, because Shaunace and I have been friends for a few years now, although it feels like a lifetime. I don't remember, the years before Shaunace as much anymore. Can you enlighten our listeners about just a quick rundown of our journey?
Yeah. So Shell and I met together through networking. We decided that we both shared the same values in our businesses and wanted to collaborate somehow. So we met up for lunch. I brought my little puppy, Ruby, my little fur baby. And I guess the rest is history. We never ended up working out how we were going to collaborate because we became best friends instead. And about a year or so into our relationship, after brainstorming so many different ways of being able to collaborate, whether we were going to do retreats or whether we were going to, I don't even know some of the things that we were thinking of. But one day after a kinesiology session, Shell says to me, I have an idea. And then brought out an empty bottle of a particular product of magnesium, a magnesium spray, and said, why don't we do one of these? And so that began our journey together of creating a product using my skincare brand and her kinesiology skills, knowledge in magnesium and all the things that the body needs, and bringing them together to create an incredible product, which we sell so many of still today. That is this beautiful bottle of magnesium mist, clarity and recenter magnesium mist that is infused with not only love and energetically, but also with the beautiful grounding lang lang and rejuvenating lemon myrtle. I spray it at the end of every yoga class I teach, and honestly, it is people say it should be called magic mist.
Yes. Oh, the journey of the magnesium is the most profound love story. It was made from start to finish. It's not finished yet, but like in terms of the journey is still just growing. But the love behind this spray is just phenomenal. Every step of the way has been so loving, and it was such a beautiful ride to be on. Like I could just unpack that whole thing because we, decided through the common, Shaunace's knowledge in firstly organic natural skincare and the enzymes and just the wealth of knowledge that she knows from skin health and the correct products to use and what that would help emphasize, as well as magnesium, like through my line of work with kinesiology and us all knowing in this wellness space that we are forever running through more of a stressed state, and magnesium is the first thing that we chew through, and especially because we have, compromised produce from, getting the ground and the way things are grown these days don't have the soil that once upon a time it had here in Australia, perhaps. And to understand, this is the number one mineral that we all just need for so many different reasons. And for us to come together and create it, the process was just so phenomenal. We found that we were catching up multiple times a week. We were working out the different scents. We were working out, like Shaunace located where we could get the magnesium from. And we were so enthralled with the quality of magnesium that we got, and not it just being like, do we do it as a moisturizer? It was all about the mist and how that goes down through the skin on a topical sense and directly goes to the areas of our body that need the magnesium most, and it prioritizes from there all the way through. It was the most loving process, and I just can't get over it.
Yeah, we didn't choose just any magnesium either. We decided that we were going to get the best of the best, and we sourced the magnesium from the ancient seas of the Zechstein Sea, which we spent months trying to pronounce, but it is the oldest sea in the world, and this magnesium is actually thousands and thousands of years old, and it is known as the most purest magnesium you can get in the whole world.
You can feel it. I had someone message me the other day, and she only just had the bottle a day, and she sprayed it on her back, and she's like, I had the best sleep last night. I have had back pain for as far as I can remember, and I sprayed it on my back and I had the best sleep. My back isn't aching the moment I wake up. And she was just like blown away with the instant effect of it. And I'm like, not that we forget, but it's just like, yes, it is so potent, and it never gets old in hearing the complete awe that people experience the magnesium like results in. And it's just, everyone needs to get around their magnesium and get around our magnesium for sure. I mean, but even though
it's because it's got so many different uses, right? You just talked about the use for not only pain, as in like the back pain or sleep you also mentioned, but then we've also got muscle recovery, because magnesium is responsible for relaxing contracted muscles. So it's really good after a workout. But then you've got, it calms the nervous system. And the bonus that we found through this journey and through me having a skincare line is that it actually works brilliantly as a spot treatment for blemishes. So win-win.
Yeah. It just keeps on giving. It literally keeps on giving. Not to mention it works our beautiful scents together. It's the most refreshing smell. And the moment you smell the lemon myrtle and then it grounds with the lang lang, it's the most, it's a perfume, a natural perfume, as well as all the good things. So it is a product that has been absolutely nailed. So I feel so grateful for this journey that we created this together. But it ties into what we wanted to chat to about. And through Shaunace's journey, which we haven't even, spoken of, and I would love to get an insight on it. We could just go on tangents all day, but it's like coming back to how we got so passionate about we really need to prioritize filling cups. Like you said before, you were achievement focused. You were like, I've got to, keep going, make sure, you were tying self-worth into it. Me too. I could not do enough. I could not keep going faster and faster as much as I tried. And it's like flipping that and now coming back to the most important and the most beneficial to not only ourselves, but to everyone that's in our lives and the work that we do. You have to prioritize your own needs, your own cup, your own health, your own well-being. And now, to really be the flag flyer of that is something that we're both passionate about. And so I'd love to hear how that became so vital for you, and what's your non-negotiables?
Yep, absolutely. So I'm going to try and take a massive story and cut it into a very, very short couple of sentences, because we will have to revisit this across multiple sessions. But basically my story comes from when I was 27, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And at the time I was working full time. I was really achievement focused. I was such a go-getter, like crazy go-getter. There was no spare time. I was full on human doing, no human being in sight. I was rock climbing, pole dancing, kickboxing. I was training with the local circus school, yoga, you name it, I was doing it. And
I didn't know about the pole dancing.
I was proper advanced, like inversions, just holding on with the hands, abs for days.
Oh.
They are
We were at a poll. We were out with a poll not so long ago, and we needed to get those moves out.
Oh, no, I went to a hens night not long ago and I thought I still had those moves, but I forgot about the bruises and I ended up just with bruised thighs. It was terrible. Anyway, so I was doing all of the things, and then I was hit with breast cancer. And so I went straight into fear and straight into denial and needed to get the cancer out of my body as soon as possible. So 2 weeks later, I was being wheeled into the operating theatre to have a double mastectomy and a reconstruction. And then all I did was try to get back to work as quick as I possibly could and not tell anyone at work other than the people who needed to know, which were my bosses. I hardly told any people that I knew in terms of my friends. It was, I feel like because I was associating myself with being such a strong person, and everybody that I spoke to who said, oh, Shaunace, if anyone can get through this, you can, you're the strongest person I know. It sort of felt like cancer was a weak thing. So I didn't want anyone to know that I had this weakness. And so therefore I pretended it didn't exist and went straight back to work before I was ready. I remember I worked as a pediatric occupational therapist mobile on the road. So I would drive to homes and families and schools and things like that. And I wasn't even recovered enough from my surgery to open a car door. So I had this special way of backing into the car door and opening it from behind with my fingertips because that was the only muscles that were intact. So yes. Yeah. Then the year that followed was a whole lot more busyness. If I couldn't get any more busy, a 10x it. I planned and executed a wedding, got a promotion, bought a house, bought a new car, went on a honeymoon. I couldn't do any of the things that I used to do, like pole dancing and kickboxing and stuff anymore because of my surgery. The only thing I could do was yoga. So I went all in with that. And instead of just doing yoga, I became a yoga teacher and did a 12-month course in it and then started teaching yoga on top of my full-time job. And then I had a second surgery to finalize my reconstruction. And then COVID hit. So my 9 to 5 days turned into 7 to 7, 12-hour days as my role as an essential worker increased, not decreased. And I just remember driving home from work one day and I was stuck in traffic and I'd already taken 2 mental health days the days before and just threw my hands up in the air and just said, I wish it would all just stop. And I didn't mean my life. I just meant like everything in it. It was like I was this snowball running downhill, getting bigger and bigger, picking up speed with no way of slowing down. And I didn't know how to slow down. But I think it was only 2 weeks later or 2 months later, I had this pain in my chest and got a scan, and it turns out the cancer had returned, and this time it was in my bones. And I can't actually think of anything else in my life that would have made me slow down other than this. We were now looking at stage 4 terminal breast cancer that was inoperable. You can't remove bones. And like I'd already had cancer before and it still didn't stop me. It didn't make me even slow down. If anything, it made me speed up. So for the first time in my life, I actually slowed down. I stopped entirely. I finished up with my work. I paused my yoga classes. I stopped everything until all I had was eating and sleeping. And I knew that if I just kept something as simple as eating in my life, with my busy mind, I'd probably start working on a recipe book instead of figuring out what I'm going to do with my life. So I stopped that too and decided for 40 days and 40 nights I would swallow no food. So I did that. It was so hard. It was so challenging. I learned so much about my life. And at the end of it, to cut a very long story short, because that's a whole nother episode, I came out knowing what I was going to do. And one of my decisions was radiation. So fast track to midway through my radiation, there were 10-minute appointments that I would go in every day for 5 weeks. I think I had 25 rounds. And one day a nurse handed me a clipboard with a form that said, whether or not I wanted to attend a makeup workshop. And so I couldn't think of anything worse than putting makeup on a room full of frail, sick cancer patients. So I politely ticked cannot attend and went on my way. But then a week later, a box arrived at my front door, and it was full of all of this makeup and skincare that they would have used on me had I turned up at the makeup workshop. So it was a really nice gesture. It was beautiful and well-intended, but I was becoming really aware and conscious of what was going on, what I was putting on and in my body. So I started looking at the ingredients in these products, and I noticed that there was a lot of words that I didn't understand and couldn't pronounce. So I started researching them and found that they were full of carcinogens, hormone disruptors, and neurotoxins. And I looked at every single product, and there was about 12 products in the box, and only one of them didn't have all 3 of them in there. So it really set me on this journey to finding not only a natural skincare that worked, but one that felt beautiful. Like, this was a box full of high-end luxury skincare, and the intention behind it was beautiful, but it was full of nasties. So the irony didn't go past me that a box full of cancer products was given from the Cancer Foundation to a cancer patient.
Hello, lovely listeners. Our Total Life Transformation Program is live. If you feel stuck in your health, career, relationships, or money, this is the chance for a complete revamp. Over 6 months, you'll experience powerful changes that will transform every part of your life. With the guidance of 5 specialists, so yours truly, a kinesiologist, money mentor, functional health practitioner, career advisor, and our relationship coach, we address 4 key life pillars: your health, your career, your money, and your relationships. One investment shifts you from feeling low-key, unfulfilled to fully energized and inspired in every area of your life. Health. If stress, emotional baggage, or unhealthy habits drain you, we will help release what's in your subconscious and create a personalized nutrition and supplement plan to reset your energy and health. Career. If you feel lost or stuck in your career, our kinesiologist and career mentor provide clarity, confidence, and an action plan to move forward with purpose. Money. If scarcity or fear around money keeps you stuck, we heal your financial blueprint. With our money mentor, you will gain practical strategies to confidently manage your finances for life. And relationships. If disconnection in your relationships leave you feeling unseen, we heal emotional wounds, leading to deeper connection, trust, and love. Now it's time to create your extraordinary life. So book your clarity call now for our Total Life Transformation Program, because it is live and waiting for you.
Anyhow, that is,
I
know, right? That is how 1111 Lab came to be. I initially just went out to try and find a product that I could use that was beautiful, luxurious, but without the nasties. But everything that I tried fell short in one way or another. So I eventually decided, well, maybe this is my path, maybe this is my purpose, and set on my way to create that gap that I saw. And it turns out that it became so much more than just skincare, so much more than just putting skincare without the nasties on your body, but it became something that people used as a ritual, a daily ritual that allowed you to slow down just for that moment, to stop and be present and be mindful. Every single day you allow yourself that 5 minutes out of the whole 24 hours, you get that whole 5 minutes to be there, to be mindful, and use that as your non-negotiable me time to fill up your cup. And I started doing this for myself, and that got infused within the energy of the products and moved into doing that for the rest of the nation. And now it's award-winning and has 5-star reviews, and women all over the country are using this skincare 1111 Lab to fill up their cup.
It is the most incredible product and just the whole story behind it. But I can absolutely vow, not only because I, admire you and the journey that had led to the creation of 1111 Lab, because it just, again, blows my mind so much how you've taken the knowledge that you had, in my opinion, from an occupational therapist in the research and understandings of a lot of science-based to the journey that you had and your health adversity and the challenges that you had with that, to then almost combined what you knew and the drive and the passion in your experience to create something so spectacular. And when we met, we were fortunate, I was fortunate enough to, try your products, and I continue to still use them to this day. But it really does stop you in your tracks. And for one, the quality of it is luxurious, but more so to the point of knowing the history and what made this product to become what it is today. It stops you and it makes you appreciate life. It makes you appreciate the day that you've had. It makes you appreciate, your health and your skin, and it makes you appreciate just the little things that you can be so mindful of, and it really does cloud out the noise of chaos in those moments of just cleaning and coming back to yourself and giving yourself these moments of luxury self-care.
Absolutely. It's so interesting because when I was an occupational therapist, I had a mentor at the time, or a supervisor at the time, and she went on about mindfulness, and we as OTs taught mindfulness to our clients, but I didn't fully understand what mindfulness was until I actually started practicing it. And it's as simple as a morning skincare routine or an evening skincare routine. And I just love skincare as your routine because it's something that you do every day. So you are giving yourself that luxurious, attention, but you're also touching yourself, you're touching your skin, you're lathering creams and elixirs into your skin. So you're giving yourself that self-love, but then you're also using these high-end, high-quality ingredients that are going to be so beneficial for your skin inside and out without any of the nasties that you'd get in a drugstore product. So it's like this triple, I want to say threat, but it's the opposite of a threat.
It's so deeply layered in what you get, in the gift that you give it. It is so deeply layered, and I you can feel that. You can literally just notice the presence that you have, the quality of it, the somatic touch of you to you, especially because so many women and so many people in this industry. But so I would say so many women, we are giving a lot. We're giving a lot more to other people than what we generally realize that we don't give to ourselves, and it just became a bit of the norm. It's hopefully rewriting in so many of our own lives now, where we now know it's so important to give to ourselves as much, if not more, in service of being the best that we can be for other people and ourselves. But initially at the start, it's just you're giving all this and you'll give yourself the slops at the end of just I can barely brush my teeth tonight. I'm that exhausted. I just want to crawl and go to bed and do it all again tomorrow. Now it's just coming back and making sure that you're giving yourself this beautiful experience in the morning, in the evenings, because you're worth it, and it's good for you. It's not just a dopamine hit. It's actually really beautifully, revitalizing for your skin. And skincare is such a trend, right? It's so interesting because it's even such a trend now. And it's just Shia, my daughter, who's 14, she loves her skincare. I did not have a skincare routine when I was 14. It was maybe a baby wipe and some water, which was not okay. But that's all you knew, and your skin, And now they're just so.
Is what I used. The Clearasil wipes in the morning burst, some Neutrogena, something. I can't even bring myself to look at the ingredients in them now.
Yeah, don't. Yeah. It's fine. It's fine.
Though, just imagine that you're a mother and you're putting these creams and doing your routine every day. You're giving yourself back time. You're giving yourself time to fill your cup, and basically telling yourself you were worth it. And your child, daughter, son, whatever, is seeing that every day. They're seeing that their mother is showing herself love, showing herself that she is worthy, and setting that role model for the child to do the same. So I don't know, it could be a trend, but also it could just be these beautiful women finally giving themselves back their worth.
Oh, do you know what? I feel that is exactly what's happening. I didn't even realize it, but the way that you have said that, it was so powerful and so beautiful. And yes, like what an example to lead of just like, I'm worthy. I'm committing, like I'm putting myself first, and everyone is just not questioning it, as they shouldn't be. They're just like, yeah, so you should, and cool, like that should be our norm, and we're grateful that we're not even needing to question that. It's just that's the norm. So moving forward, that is such a gift that they get to see, that they are witnessing mum, dad, whoever just honor their non-negotiable, fill their own cups, put themselves first with high quality things because they're worthy of that, and letting that be the baseline of self-care.
100%.
Well, babe, I could chat, and we will continue to chat all day long, but to give people a little something, what would you say? So in your one and only non-negotiable to fill your cup, what can people take from this episode? What would be your suggestion?
Well, clearly use your skincare as a daily non-negotiable. It's better than the chore of brushing your teeth, which you're going to do daily without thinking. This is something that you can actually bring back presence and mindfulness to give back to yourself, increase your self-worth, and just love on yourself every single day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you haven't heard of 1111 Lab, or now you have, I would highly suggest looking it up, jumping on 1111lab.com.au, I know it, and just going through the products, and just feeling when you get it sent to you, just the love behind it. It's absolutely exquisite. Go check out our magnesium line. Gift someone the gift of wellness, because this is one person feeling their best is going to affect 10 people. 10 people feeling their best is going to affect hundreds. And that chain of reaction will continue on, but it's got to start from you. And if we start to make it normal that, taking care of ourselves and giving the gift of something that is really going to nurture and nourish and revitalize, then that is just going to be the most beautiful impact that we all get to surround ourselves with. So we cannot suggest that more in making sure that you understand firstly what your one negotiable is. Absolutely, we suggest skincare, taking care of your skin, making sure you have those moments of mindfulness in where you're taking care of yourself and being so unapologetic that that's your time and that you deserve that time, because it's going to have such a ripple effect. Well, babe, thank you for being on today's episode. I could just chat all day long, but let's pencil in another one. We will off air. Where can people find you?
So on my website, 1111lab.com.au, that's spelt out 1111, not the numbers. Or on Instagram, you can find me at 1111_lab. So 1111_lab. Or if you want to know more about my personal brand, my life coaching, my yoga, my retreats, you can find me at Shaunace_West. That's SHAUNACEEE_WEST.
Love that. We're going to unpack a whole much more of Shaunace West, aka Quinn, also in another episode. There is so much more that you are going to learn about this Wonder Woman, but we have to cut it short today. Thank you, babe. I love you. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a joy.
Pleasure. Thank you for all who have listened. If you have enjoyed this episode, please let us know. Flick us a DM. Send it to people that you may feel that this could help. Let them know that they deserve to have one non-negotiable to fill their cups, especially when they're forever just giving. They deserve to give to themselves, as do you. So thank you again for your ears. And until next week, take care of you.